Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the East Bayfield Community Center for some Sunday afternoon Junior Sharks hockey. In town today is the Stony Creek Sabres, who are in 7th place right now at 5-3, as both teams get ready to hit the ice for the final game of the weekend. My name is Josh McCann. I'm so happy you could join us here for this 2 p.m. matchup, whether it's your pre-game into the Blue Jays game starting at 4 p.m. or maybe it's on a second screen alongside watching NFL football this weekend, as the Sharks are ready for game number 9 of the season. The Sharks currently sit in 2nd place in the league, only 2 points behind the Etobicoke Junior Dolphins. So once again here today, if the Sharks can come away with the victory, they will be in 1st place. For the Stony Creek Sabres, they come in off a 3-0 victory on Friday night against the Brampton Canadettes. Right now for Stony Creek, they sit 7th, tied for 7th with 15 points with the Toronto Arrows, having the tiebreaker with a plus 15 goal differential. And with the win today, they could move up as high as a tie for 3rd place with the Central York Panthers, but that will also depend on a couple other results. Out of town today, the Arrows taking on Ridley College. That was a 2-1 final. Oakville beat North York 3-2. The rest of the games: Bluewater, Nepean, Windsor, Kingston, London, Ottawa, OHA, Central York, Waterloo, Durham West, Mississauga, Burlington, and Leaside against Whitby. I only have one phone today with no Cheryl here, so I won't be able to update out of towns throughout the day, but those are the matchups for today. For the Sharks, they look to make it 3 straight wins. They have 11 goals in their last 2 games. 15 goals in their last 2 games, including 10 the other night here at the East Bayfield Community Center in a 10-0 victory over the OHA Mavericks. 3 shorthanded goals, 2 power play goals, and 5 more at even strength. So it didn't matter whether the Sharks were down a player, up a player, or even strength. They were able to find the back of the net in all 3 periods of the game, scoring 4 in the first and then 3 in the second and 3 in the third. Multiple players with 2 goals the other night, including Elda Silva, Jenny Keller, Abby Brumwell, and Sadie France. France and Jenny Keller are a part of the starting lineup. They're joined by Kate Stewart as the starting forwards. On defense, number 11, Piper 7, number 44, Kathleen Dion. In net for the Sharks, number 74, Ava Sador, coming off that 10-0 shutout victory. Sador looking to make it a perfect 6-0 on the season. For Stony Creek at forward, number 6, Sadie Allen, number 93, Audrey Morrison, number 94, Michaela Barnes. On defense, number 13, Reese Kletke, number 21, Claire Sanford, and in net, number 35, Michaela Musty. Musty is 2-2 on the year, looking for her 3rd win of the season. It's a very veteran Central York squad coming in. A lot of 2026 graduates on this roster. They were one of the best teams in the league last season, as well as the Sharks, and both teams so far this year looking like they are looking to repeat their regular season success. Last year when these 2 teams faced off, the Sharks picked up a 3-2 victory in overtime down in Stony Creek. When the Sabres came here, it was a 2-1 victory for the Sabres. The Sharks had a 1-0 lead in that game, and then 2 late 3rd period goals from Stony Creek was able to give the Sabres the win in that one. So just 10 seconds left here in warm-ups, and then the teams will get into their huddles and line up for player introductions and the national anthem. Well, welcome to the East Bayfield Community Center for today's U22 afternoon Sunday action between the road team Stony Creek Sabres and the hometown Barrie Junior Sharks. Both teams looking to make it, the Stony Creek Sabres are looking to make it 3 wins in a row. For the Sharks, they're looking to make it 4 wins in a row, as these two teams will meet up for the first time this season in a battle between the 2nd place Sharks and the 7th place Sabres. 3 scratches again for the Sharks: Gabby Willard, May Severn, and Kaya Harbeck. In their place on defense, number 88, Grace Kusick, and at forward, number 66, Ella Sabrin, who scored the overtime winner last weekend against Durham West. It's Allen and France on the draw. It's a bit of a tie-up, but the Sharks have possession, and we are underway. Battle for it, coming through the middle is Barnes. She'll drop it back for Klecki, intercepted. Stewart couldn't get it out of the zone, and the puck goes down to the corner. Sador leaves it for 7. Coming out to the middle, Keller sends it across for Stewart. Kate Stewart up the wing, fires it in, and will head off on a change. France forcing pressure on Sanford here, nearly forced the interception, but Klecki is able to grab it for the Sabres. She gets it past Taya Wallace and up to Barnes, who backhands it into the Shark end. Morrison chasing, Sador is able to chip it around the other side. Schrett will tip it ahead. Battle for it against the boards. Allen coming through with it. Goes back to Barnes. Tie-ups. Ellie Winter in there. She scored a goal the other night from her knees against the OHA Mavericks. Don't know if she'll be able to repeat that again this season, but if she can, it'll be definitely great to see. Charlie Love drops it back. Picked up the boards by Austin, kept in by Brumwell. Love behind her own net will spin back. Winter putting on pressure. Love's able to find Van Sickle, firing it out. Has Pachetti up the wing. Pachetti trying to get a shot on net, gets it to Sador, who makes her first save of the night. Melissa Pachetti coming in there with the opportunity, riding a 2-game point streak, looking to add on in her first year with the Stony Creek Sabres after spending last season with the Burlington Barracudas. She'll take the draw against Sam Larman. The draw won by Stony Creek. On the point, firing a shot is Stanley, knocked down. Coming forward was Ouellette, trying to get it there. That's broken up. Cosgrave to Meta. Able to find McKay. Fired across for Sabrin. That's off her stick, and Pachetti is able to grab it for Stony Creek. She'll get it past Cosgrave and is able to catch up to it. Pachetti centers it, nobody home. Puck goes back to the point now. Quick pass to White for a one-timer. That was fanned on. Sharks have to go out the other way. A couple players falling down, and Sabrin will get it ahead to McKay. Maddie McKay, nice move on Ouellette, but couldn't get past Ellis. Larman able to keep it in. Here's McKay. Trying to drive the net, broken up. Not enough Sharks out front for McKay to have any assistance. Beyond to 7. Plays it 4, missed McKay, and it goes down the ice. Grabbed by Reese Klecki. Tried to play it forward to Vink, that was broken up. Swanson, I think, all over, trying to force a turnover. Elson is there, tipping it past. France is able to get there for the Sharks, but can't get it out. Kept in by Sanford. That was blocked off by Swanson. Puck comes out of the zone, and Stony Creek will regroup. Klecki across for Sanford. Playing it ahead, a bit of a collision. Coming out with it is Nelson. She lost the puck, and Sanford's able to chip it down to the corner. Puck goes back to the point. Nelson takes a shot, and that lines up in the glove of Sador. 17:09 to go in the first period. Off the draw, won by Winter. Charette plays it around to Jenny Keller. Keller out back the other way, finds Stewart. She'll backhand it ahead. Van Sickle chasing. Stewart and Van Sickle go down. And the puck comes free. Fired out by Ellis ahead. Birch trying to catch up to it, can't get there, and Sador will make the save. Bit of a slow start to this one here. Both teams trying to find their footing. Both teams played Wednesday and Friday this week heading into this game. Both teams won both their games, so both Sharks and Sabres trying to make it 3 for 3. Stanley down low, puts it out in front for Birch. That was broken up. Going back the other way is Wallace. She has Brumwell with her. Teo Wallace waits, fires a shot. That's blocked by Ellis. Rebound deflects to the boards. Meta pinned by Ouellette. Brumwell trying to knock it free as well as Birch. 3 Sabres, 2 Sharks, now 3 and 3. Ouellette tried to kick it. It goes to Brumwell. Abby Brumwell, shot saved. No rebound as Michaela must be able to gather that one up. Good attempt there by Brumwell, coming off one of her better games in her first season with the Junior Sharks. Here's Cosgrave playing it down and around behind the net. Klecki first there, blocked off by McKay. Puck will go behind, Sanford to Klecki. Here's Klecki trying to go up the boards to Morrison. 4-way scrum. Allen and Sabrin now getting involved. And knocked free, Barnes will take it, and she'll go out the other way. Stony Creek's top line looking to go to work. Here's Allen, knocked off the puck. Barnes has it, and she'll send it over top. Klecki playing it down around behind the net. Barnes takes a check from Meta. Sabrin lost it. Tipped ahead by Sanford, blocked off by McKay, and she'll get it out. Morrison to Klecki. Klecki will go up the wing. In the zone, looking for Morrison. Knocked off her stick, and quickly there's Sonia Meta playing it ahead. Tipped forward by Winter. To Love, and now White will bring it ahead. Addison White trying to come in the zone, knocked off the puck, and now she'll strip 7 of the puck. 7 takes her down. Battle for it against the boards. 7 to Dion. Kathleen Dion. Waits, goes back across to 7. Up the wing to Silva. Puck comes out of the zone. Love is there. To Austin, that's deflected. The Sharks will have it and regroup. Austin now off the pass, fires it in on net, saves Sador, and she'll just hold it. 14:24 to go. Both teams will make changes. Off the draw, one by Larman. Sam Larman's got a 3-game point streak going for her right now. Trying to add on to that today. Puck deflected around, grabbed by Stewart. Stewart to Jenny Keller. 6 points in her last 2 games. 4 assists against North York on Wednesday, 2 goals against OHA the other night. Stewart nearly had a drive to the net there. Sanford takes her down. That'll be the first penalty of the game. Body contact the call against Claire Sanford. France, Brumwell, Wallace, Dion, and Meta, the 5 out there for the Sharks' first power play of the afternoon. They scored 2 power play goals in a penalty-filled game against OHA Friday. That got into the official skates. Brumwell trying to catch up to it. She will, and is able to tip it back to the point to Meta, who didn't get enough on her pass. Wallace taken out by Beeman. And the puck will come out the other way. Dion off the boards for Brumwell. That goes over her stick, and it'll allow another clear for the Sabres. Meta collides with Beeman. Meta goes down. Beeman loses her glove. She has to head off. And Stony Creek able to get another clear. Barnes able to knock it free. Shifting around the Sharks' defense, tried to center it there. Launch, but that was broken up. Kayla Barnes, the leading point getter for Stony Creek right now with 15 points. And a strong start to her season. Puck goes down the length for the ice again by the Sabres. Dion to Larman. Across to 7. Just off her stick. Now the Sharks will come in. Larman trying to get it around Van Sickle, and she will. But as the puck rolls, it ends up on the stick of Love, and that's clear. 40 seconds left in the power play. Charette pressured from behind there by Spencer, but is able to get it ahead. Charette to 7. Gives to Stewart at the blue line. Quickly knocked away. Flipping it back the other way is Vink into the zone, trying to catch up to it. She gets taken down. Nice defensive play there by the Sharks, as the officials say that Vink went down on her own. Nice play there by Kate Stewart. Stewart now has the puck as she knocks down the pass from 7. Puck tips around at the blue line. Stony Creek able to get it out, and that'll do it for the first power play. Not much going on for the Sharks there. Here's Cosgrave up to McKay. McKay collides pressure with 2 Stony Creek players there and got taken down by Morrison. Sabrin trying to knock it free. Winter has it. She'll flip it across to open ice. And Maddie McKay is the first one on it. She goes off the boards, plays it behind the net. Ouellette there for Stony Creek. Lost the puck though. That was Sabrin. Putting it out front. Puck's loose. Here's Meta. Shot denied by Musty. Good opportunity there for the Sharks with 11:22 to go, but we remain scoreless early in this game. Both goaltenders, Musty and Sador, were on their respective teams last season, and both those games were very low scoring. We may be in for another one of those again this year. Morrison going out the other way, 2-on-2. Morrison with Barnes, but broken up by Annabella Cosgrave. Cosgrave and Morrison collide. Meta is there with it. She'll take a skate from behind her own net. Meta to McKay, back to Meta. She's able to fight through the defense but not catch up to the puck. That's Klecki getting it. She gave the puck off, now gets it back, and another tie-up against the boards. Charette was loose out in front if the Sharks were able to get it free, but they weren't. Now they have it. Charette off the boards, broken up. Sanford around to Klecki, to Silva charging quickly. Silva and Swanson on the forecheck there, trying to force something, and that hits off the back of De Silva on the clearing attempt, and that'll allow her to have the puck in neutral. De Silva, cross to Cusick. Broken up, Pachetti looking to go back the other way, broken up by Swanson. Tip back down the length of the ice, and Musty will gather it, and we'll get another whistle. Early on, seemed like Stony Creek was getting more of the opportunities. The Sharks have slowly built up some offensive pressure here. They'll get another offensive zone draw. Larman and Pachetti on the draw. And looks like Pachetti's getting kicked out. Coming in will be Ashley Austin. Off the draw, Brumwell trying to get back to the point. Sharks are able to keep it in. It tips around. Brumwell gets it down low. Here's Wallace, a chance denied by Musty. Wallace and Brumwell able to sneak in behind the defense, but Musty up to the task. Puck comes out of the zone. Brumwell will flip it in. Austin sent across, tipped ahead by White. Knocked down. Dion fell as she played it 4. That's going to create an opportunity here. Austin across for Pachetti. Fires a shot. Stopped by Sador. Rebound loose. It's Stony Creek on it. Van Sickle made a move, but broken up, and back the other way they go. There goes Wallace up the wing. 1-on-2. Wallace will wait. Has to wait for her entire team to make changes. Pachetti off the boards, playing it ahead for White. Able to get it past Meta, and then he'll head off on a change of her own. Cosgrave fires it ahead. Stewart tips it forward. Ouellette and Keller tied up. Coming in to help Stewart and Beeman. And it's Kate Stewart knocking it free. She goes off the boards to the point for Meta. And off her stick out of the zone. Stony Creek looking to go back the other way. Stanley to Beeman. Up the wing, down the length of the ice. Cosgrave for Stewart. Tip back. Ellis will spin free of Jenny Keller. Flipped across to Ouellette. Steve Ouellette sending it into the zone. Meta there. Tipped around. Sadie France getting involved. Saverin now with it. Tipping it ahead. And out goes McKay. Trying to get around Klicky. McKay stops up. Nearly out of shot, but Vink was able to deflect that one wide. Puck nearly came out of the zone. Kept him for a moment. Sabre player went down, but all is good. Klicky gets it out of the zone. McKay able to gather it in neutral now. And McKay making a move into the zone. Sabrin trying to give it back to her. That's broken up. Kusick now with it. Pressured quickly by Nelson. Sadie France able to come in and help out there. That's deflected. Nearly goes out of play. Nelson now fires it in. Charette around to Saverin. Missed to Silva, but does go all the way around to another Shark. Here's McKay, fires a shot. That's blocked and goes up into the netting. Another nice shift there for the Sharks. They were able to get a couple opportunities there, including that one from Taya Wallace. Alone out in front. De Silva goes back to the point for Dion. She'll chip it down behind the net. Swanson trying to get there. Puck comes free near the front of the net. Swanson off the boards. Dion. Cross for 7. 7 off the boards to Larman. Tied up with Love. They both overskate the puck. And Austin will fire it out. That was knocked down by Swanson, so Stony Creek doesn't have an opportunity. Puck deflecting around in the neutral zone, and Swanson will chip it ahead. De Silva, a bit of a collision against the boards. Tipped ahead, puck comes out. 7 to Swanson. Bit of a collision there, and Swanson sends it in. Allen goes up the boards for Barnes. That comes out. And here's Morrison. Morrison will play it ahead. Barnes trying to catch up to it. Osgrave. It's a nice, strong play there to get it out of the zone. Stony Creek will grab it and regroup. Ellis to Ula. Ahead for Austin, trying to break off Cosgrave. She will, but a diving play by Cosgrave knocks it down. Came out in front, but sent wide there by Stony Creek. And the net comes off as we get a whistle. 6:21 to go in the first period. For it off the draw. Winter wins it back to Meta. Goes around past Cosgrave to Wallace. She'll tip it ahead. Winter trying to get it out. That's broken up. And White sends it right back in. Tipped ahead now by Pachetti. Not able to grab it for the Sharks. Nearly tripped up there, but stays on her feet. Wallace fires it across for Brumwell. Tipped ahead. Here comes Brumwell. Maybe an opportunity. Trying to send it across. That was blocked by Ouellette. Backhand across to White. Pushing there with France. Tipped ahead. And Stony Creek will take possession. Ellis spins it to Ouellette. She's able to get it out of the Stony Creek end. Stewart to Charette and fired in. Musty. Fires it around past Stewart. Tipped out. Now one Sabre there waiting for it. That was Birch. But wasn't able to do much with it. Stony Creek will come back to their own end and regroup. Beeman to Ellis. Flipped up the wing for Klecki. Klecki off the boards. Here's Birch. Stops up on Kusick. Tried to fire it across. That was blocked. Second opportunity. Beeman out in front. Denied by Sador. Rebound Klecki. Cross to Beeman. Tipped around. France. Not out. Sanford fires a shot. Blockered away by Sador. Sabres able to keep it in. Klecki across to Keller. That was knocked down. Back to Kusick, up to France. Flipped ahead, that hit the Sharks on the bench. Sanford and Larman on the draw. Vink and Larman on the draw. Sanford will send it in. That's tipped ahead. Klecki back to Sanford. Sabres captain plays it forward, missed pass there, and that is icing. Sharks will keep the same 5 out on the ice and an offensive zone draw here. Off the draw, McKay tried to take a shot, broken up. Larman a chance tonight. Rebound, Saverin! Stopped by Musty. A huge save there to keep us scoreless. Stony Creek tried to grab a change there, but they were a bit too late. So they'll have to keep the same players on the ice. Sanford to Klicky, fired out down the length. 7 keeps it in the neutral zone. That'll allow a couple players to get off for Stony Creek. Nelson, pressured by McKay, knocked free to Saverin. Saverin lost the puck. It's tipped around. Klicky playing it ahead for Barnes. Barnes to Nelson. Here come the Sabres. Chips it off the boards into the zone. Sador leaves it for 7. De Silva intercepted. Here's Barnes. Her pass blocked by Swanson. And out back the other way is McKay. McKay's got Swanson and De Silva with her. She'll fire a shot. Block it away. Rebound tipped wide. Nice play by Van Sickle getting that one to safety. De Silva was charging in for the rebound. Here's Morrison behind the net. Trying to get something going for Stony Creek. That came out in front but broken up. Meta spins loose into the zone. Sonia Meta takes the shot. That goes over top. Blocker or off the blocker, a Musty on the rebound. De Silva back to Cosgrave. She'll take a shot. Save. Rebound Love. 3 minutes to go in the opening frame. Still looking for our first goal. Bit different than the other night when the Sharks already had 4. Cosgrave to Wallace, tipped ahead. White broken up. And now here comes Brumwell. That'll be Brumwell. Tied up against the boards. A couple players battle for it and the puck comes out. Charette to Kusick. She'll give it to France. Sadie France a shot. That goes wide. Wallace trying to put it in front, broken up by Pachetti. Wallace able to get it back, gives to Brumwell. Here's Brumwell, a shot blockered away. Sharks ramping up the offense here late in the first period. Battle against the boards. Brumwell, the only Shark down there. France and Keller get involved. France back to Kusick. She'll fire a shot, blockered away by Musty. Rebound comes loose. France trying to go back to the point. That goes over top of Kusick. Now charging hard is White, but not able to get there. And she takes a tumble as Charette plays it forward for Keller. Keller fires it in down behind the net. Here's Stewart with it to Charette. She'll take a shot, blocked by Klicky. Rebound comes out to the point. 7 taking a shot, looking for a deflection was France, but she was tied up with Sanford. Stewart to Keller. Out to the point for Dion. Hard charging. She'll take a shot, deflected wide. Rebound Klicky going up the board. She'll get it out. 7 to Stewart. And up Birch, intercepted. Dion sends it in. Musty is there, flipping it across. Here's Birch. Beeman lost her stick. It looks like it broke. She has to go off the ice. Here's Meta, up to Saverin. Now Meta coming in. Guarded by Love. Will spin off. Coming up on the final minute here of the first period. Puck hit on the official coming out. Sharks had to wait for Meta to get back on side. Cosgrave sends it in, deflects off Van Sickle, almost right to Winter. Winter collides with Love. Van Sickle back to Love. Firing it out ahead. Gonna send it the length now, race for icing, and Kusick gets there. 42 seconds to go. Face-off will come back to the Stony Creek end. Spencer will get kicked out. Swanson's going to come in. Off the draw, Winter tips it back to the point. Here's Charette with a shot deflected and stopped by Musty. Rebound Van Sickle goes up the boards. Now Spencer trying to get out to Nelson, just missed her. Sharks have possession again. Winter off the pass from 7, loses it to Stanley. Final 20 seconds. Stanley will backhand it down behind the net. Charette is there. Cross for 7. For 7 up the boards into the zone. 10 seconds, one final opportunity for the Sharks if they can get the puck back. Gulak gets it out of the zone. Charette trying to send it back in. They will. Wallace will chase and she'll slowly stop as they won't have enough time. So not a lot going on in the first period. Only one penalty going to Stony Creek and no goals in the first period. So we remain scoreless going to the second period, and we hope you'll join us for that.
Welcome back to the East Bayfield Community Center. Just about 2.5 minutes till we'll get the second period underway. It's the Barrie Sharks and the Stony Creek Sabres tied at 0-0. Shots on goal for the first period for Barrie 11, for Stony Creek 7. It was a pretty tight first period. Saw the Sabres come out getting some of the more early opportunities, but as the period progressed, the Sharks started to get the offense going. Sharks will play Wednesday in Central York. That's the next game after this. And after that, they're off for a little bit, thanks to Thanksgiving. Take the weekend off. For Stony Creek, they'll also play Wednesday. They're taking on the Mississauga Hurricanes, who are off to a 6-0 start. Currently fourth in the standings with 17 points. They play Burlington today. They could pass Central York with a win and a Panthers loss. The Panthers are currently taking on the OHA Mavericks. It's a standing sit right now. Etobicoke first at 25 points. Barrie second at 23. Central York in third at 18. Then Mississauga at 17. Cambridge at 17. Nepean at 16. Stony Creek in 7th at 15, tied with the Arrows. 9th is East Ottawa at 14. 10th is Toronto Leaside at 12. Still early in the season, so it'll take a while for the standings to really reflect how strong all the teams are. Just kind of unbalanced schedules at the start of the year. There may be a few teams down at the bottom that have had a hard schedule that find themselves a bit lower than they will be, and maybe some teams a bit higher than they will be, depending on their early season schedule. Looking at that top 10 right now, some teams that missed the playoffs last year, like Cambridge and the Arrows, East Ottawa. So nice to see some other teams that are starting to get more competitive. That's the thing about junior hockey. You'll have a few years of a struggle as you build your young players up, and then you become a veteran squad and you can start to take off. We just had a bit of a discussion. Head coach Dwayne Eldridge called the officials over. They talked, then the officials went over and talked to the Stony Creek bench. Well, we are set to go here. It's 6-6 on the faceoff. France and Allen, won by France, and we're back underway. 7 to Keller up the wing, tipped into the Stony Creek end. Quicky and France will battle for it. Puck knocked free to Allen. Sanford lost it. And Stewart collide. Puck flipped up the boards to Morrison. And Morrison tried to come out the other way looking for Barnes, intercepted. 7 to Keller and fired into the Stony Creek end. Musty's pass missed Sanford. Stewart tried to put it in front. That was blocked. Puck will come out of the zone. Leon knocked off the puck by Morrison, and she'll catch up to it. Morrison drops for Barnes. Here's a chance for the Sabres. Barnes tried to put it in front, but missed Allen. She's able to get it to open ice. Allen trying to battle for it. Winter gets it. Backhands it around for Dion. Dion now up the boards. Just missed Brumlow. Sharks would add numbers back the other way. Not enough on it for icing. Love. Palm it down. Fires it off the boards. Intercepted by 7. 7 to the net. That was blocked. Puck comes free out to the point here. 7. For 7. Down to Wallace. Knocked free. Van Sickle trying to get it out to Pichetti. She had her stick tied up by Adrielle Charette. Grace Kusick catching up to it for the Sharks. Tons of pressure from behind from White. Kusick able to get it up the boards to Wallace and out back the other way. That one just missed Brumwell. It'll be grabbed by Ouellet. In on net. Stopped by Sador. Rebound Charette sends it out of play. Tried to go off the boards, but that one just a bit too high. That'll set up an offensive zone draw for the Sabres. Vink and Larman on the draw, one by Vink. Nelson back to the point, here's Ellis. Makes a move, Ellis across, that's broken up. Meta tried to get it out, that's kept in by Ouellet. Pinned to the boards there. Five-way scrum. Larman nearly came free with it, but we'll go back to the boards again. Sabrin can't get it out, kept in at the point. Ouellet steps up, waits, fires a shot, that goes wide. Rebound bounces off the boards all the way to Ellis, tipped out of the zone. Ouellet will gather, pressured by Sabrin, knocked off the puck. Here goes Larman, has McKay with her. Larman tries to send it across, it's up in the air, knocked down by McKay, but gathered by Musty. Both teams will make changes here. Sharks, of course, with 11 forwards today, with 2 forwards out and 1 forward in, which means some different line combinations do happen. Here's Beeman. Cross for Sanford, that's tipped at. 7 to the on. Swanson will fire it out to De Silva. Sharks going back the other way. Here comes France through the middle. Trying to get past, just taken down, but denied by Musty. No call on the play. Stony Creek will go back the other way. Stanley coming into the zone. She'll give to Birch. Birch, pressured by Dion. Fighting through, backing it, handing it down to the corner for Stanley. Kusick and Stanley battle for it. Kusick able to knock it free. Intercepted now. Barnes flipping it across for Morrison, trying to use her hand-eye coordination there to knock that one out of midair, but broken up. Dion plays it behind the net for Kusick. Sharks looking to get it out of their own end. Puck kept in. Love will send it to the net. Allen wasn't in position for a deflection. And kicked by Barnes to keep it in. Nice play there. Morrison putting it out front, but it goes over the sticks of both Allen and Barnes. Barnes able to get it back on the point, though. Allen down low. Pinned by Dion. France will tip it up the boards. De Silva now still can't get it out. Here's Van Sickle, puts it out front. Here's Allen, stopped by Sador. Rebound and a big save again. Ava Sador sticking the pad out there on Barnes. Keep it scoreless. Here's Allen. Fighting off France, trying to put it out in front. Goes over the stick of Barnes, that's tipped. And Swanson will just float it out. Sharks are able to get at least one change. And they'll actually get all 3 forwards off. Sador leaves it for Kusick. Tried to fire it up to Keller. That was knocked down by Morrison. Dion can't get there in time, but takes down White. And the first penalty for the Sharks will come here for body contact. Saw the Kathleen Dion in the box, 2 minutes for body contact. Stony Creek getting their first power play of the afternoon. That comes out of the zone. Sharks would love to do what they did the other night. Penalty kill was perfect, and they added 3 shorthanded goals as well. Here's Sanford up the wing. Pressured from behind by Keller. Kleckty has it, takes the shot, deflected across. That was Allen had an open net there, but couldn't get the tip on it. Sanford tried to give it off. That's broken up. White will fire it around the boards, or Meta fires it around the boards, and that's clear. Musty leaves it for Vink. She'll come up the wing. Into the zone. Bink may take it herself, but Meta breaks it up and it's cleared by Wallace. Musty leaves it for Ellis. Stony Creek will make one change, taking Bink off the ice and putting on Austin. Other 4 players remain the same, including Morrison. She fires a shot, saves Sador. Van Sickle to Morrison. Down low, puts it out in front. Here's Barnes, she scores! Power play goal for the Stony Creek Sabres. It's Michaela Barnes' 6th of the year, and they take a 1-0 lead. Nice play by Morrison. She was able to get her own rebound there. Hooks it back out front for Barnes. Barnes leads Stony Creek in points now with 16. That's Morrison's 11th point. That's 1 and 2 on this Stony Creek team, so you got to be careful with those 2 players as that goes for an icing. Both girls, in fact, are committed to the same post-secondary school. Morrison will head off to Colgate at the end of the year. Barnes will join her next year. 14:05 to go in the second period. Sharks out shooting the Sabres coming into this period, but haven't been able to find the back of the net yet. Puck flipped back behind the net. Sanford is there. Right across to Klecky. Pass through the middle, intercepted by Sabrin. To McKay. In Sanford. Head for Allen. Up to Barnes. Gliding with Charette. Puck tips back. Here's 7. Right ahead off the boards. Hand is up for icing, and it will be. 13:33 to go. Bink and France on the draw. One by Charette. Puck comes around. Comes down to the corner. Charette able to tip it ahead for Sabrin. Kept in. Here's an opportunity. Ben Sickle going to step up. Has a ton of space. Drives the net. Stopped by Sador. It seemed like space just kept opening there for Van Sickle. She was able to keep going and going and going. McKay into the zone. She'll fire a shot. Blocked by Love. Fink has it behind the net, pressured by France. She's forced to turn it around and give it to Love. Spencer now looking ahead for Nelson. That was broken up by Meta. But the Sabres able to get it back. Vink will send it in. Here's 7. Off the boards and out of the zone. Beeman will send it in. Meta able to deflect it. Slides there with Birch and sent back around with Wallace. Tied up against the boards, McKay. Kicked ahead by Brumwell. Ellis going across. Sharks have to be careful and not have too many players on the ice there as they're making a change. Birch to the middle. Beeman trying to send it across for Stanley. That was broken up. Winter gets it to safety. Now Wallace trying to use her speed to go back the other way. 4 Sabres defenders trying to get to her. Wallace spins back, puts it out in front just off the skate of Winter. Brumwell now. Gonna come to the middle. Down to Winter. Trying to send it across for the charging to Silva, but that was broken up. Stanley. Cross ice feed to Birch. She'll put it past Cosgrave down the ice. Sabres will get a change. Sharks trying to quickly go on the attack. Kusick fires it ahead. That's deflected by Winter. Down the length for the ice. Musty will use her stick to paddle it away to Klecky. Sanford now has trouble with it in the corner. Going around for Klecky and able to get it out. Shred off the boards to Larman. Pushed ahead. Larman to the middle for De Silva. It's knocked down. Puck comes to Kusick. Tipped down low. De Silva. Oh, De Silva. That's broken up. That's tipped by Larman. Puck comes out though. Sharks trying to go back in, maybe 3-on-2 here. Swanson's pass though misses. That hits De Silva, maybe an opportunity. Larman trying to fire a shot, blocked by Sanford. Puck came down to the net, but must be able to get it to safety. Kusick kept it in for a moment, but now going back the other way. Austin to White, broken up. The Sharks have it again. Here's Love with it. Back in her own end. Love fires it in. Dion tips it. Shot blocked by Stewart. Here's Larman to Keller. Puck comes out. Barnes goes across. Back to Love. It goes down low. Dion to Charette. Pushing it forward. And Keller able to get it out of the zone. Van Sickle pressured by a pair of Sharks there in Keller and Stewart. They weren't able to get the puck. Here comes Morrison off the pass from Barnes. Morrison up the wing, taken out by Dion. France backhanding it ahead. Stewart tipping it back. And the Sharks will take possession. Charette around the boards for Keller. Jenny Keller will get it out, trying to get past Ellis. She will. Keller, can she catch up to it and tip it across? No, just missed Stewart there. Nelson to Barnes. Fired ahead. Hard off the boards, right to Sador. Now maybe an opportunity. Dion ahead for McKay. Can she beat it at the defender? It may not matter. It's 2-on-1. Here comes Savern, and she fires a shot stopped by Musty. Rebound. Savern putting it out front for France, broken up. Sharks trying to get the rebound intercepted. Hand is up though. And a hooking call coming to the Sabres. It'll be Olivia Nelson for the hook. Nelson, another one of those players that played a couple of years in U22, but her first year was Stony Creek. Meta to Cosgrave, one-timer denied by Musty. Rebound Winter, down low Wallace, quick pass out in front, broken up. Tip to the corner, and the clearing attempt hit the Shark bench. Looks like everyone's good down there. That was Larman that got the puck. Hit on her as De Silva and Stewart beside her both rubbing her helmet, making sure she's okay. Off the draw. Minute 45 left in the power play. Winter getting it down low. Wallace trying to knock it free. A couple players down there for the Sharks, and they come free with it. Winter to the point. Meta, she'll take a shot. Knocked down. Brumwell couldn't get it cleanly. Stanley's clearing attempt kept in by Cosgrave. Tried to play it down low, broken up and cleared by Sanford. Stony Creek trying to make a quick change. And they're able to get 4 fresh penalty killers out on the ice. France trying to send it across, broken up. France goes back. Cosgrave to Meta. Tipped ahead. Down the length. Van Sickle and France collide. A couple Sharks coming in to help out. Keller. Stewart able to knock it free now from the tie-up on the boards. Cosgrave able to keep it in again. Keller, what a pass across to France. Her shot blocked. Then taken out into the board. Sharks want to call. They're not going to get it. Stony Creek clears at the length. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Nelson. Sharks 0 for 1 on the power play so far. Special teams the difference in this one right now. A power play goal by Michaela Barnes of Stony Creek has them up 1-0. Musty behind her own net decides to leave it. And Van Sickle will clear at the length. 15 seconds. Time for one final rush here on the power play. 7 to Charette. Gets past Austin. Charette into the zone. Firing it out in front. Deflects out to the point. Back 5-on-5. 7 takes the shot. That's blocked. Puck comes out to Swanson, but deflected wide of her by Spencer. Swanson down to De Silva. Battles for it. De Silva tried to go back to the point, but Sharks D were changing, so no one was on that side. Stony Creek will get a change. Dion for De Silva. De Silva plays it ahead, but no, not icing. Looked like one official thought it was, one didn't, and it's waved off. Ooh, Sharks nearly had an opportunity out in front there. Collision between White and Dion. That's intercepted by Pichetti now. Also Pichetti trying to go to work in the corner. Beeman still with possession. Leaves it off for Sanford. Sabres captain. Fighting for it. And it's knocked free to Dion. Round for 7. Battles plays it ahead to McKay. He's able to get it out. De Silva catching up to it. Sabres player went down. That was Beeman, but Sharks weren't able to take advantage. Beeman plays it ahead. 7. Out back the other way. McKay across for Sabrin. That was close to too many players again for Sharks. The wing, Sanford. Battles for it. McKay nearly stripped her of the puck. Goes down behind the net. Cosgrave to Sabrin. Kletke now forcing the turnover. Cosgrave able to get it back. And she'll play it around. McKay got it past Love, trying to catch up to it now. But Allen was able to backhand it ahead. Let's play by the Sabres forward getting back. Morrison for Kletke. Got past Cosgrave. Cross for Barnes. Tried to tip it back. Goes to Love. Her shot blocked. Big collision out in front. That'll be a penalty. Musty to the bench, but she won't make it as the hand is up. Annabelle Cosgrave going to the box for the check out front. So Stony Creek will get their second power play of the game. They're 1 for 1 so far. 7 couldn't clear. Van Sickle gets past Larman, steps up, passing it across. That was tipped wide by Barnes. Puck came out front for a moment. Charette takes down Barnes. Puck goes back to the point. Ellis. Off the pass from Austin. Ellis tried to drop it back, tipped out of the zone by Larman. Ellis. Coming forward for Wallace, across to Austin. Austin blocked by Larman, tipped out of the zone. Can Wallace catch up to him? No, she'll just let Van Sickle have it and then try and put some pressure on her. Van Sickle to Morrison offside. 4:24 to go in the second period. 1:21 left in the penalty to Cosgrave. Faceoff will come beside the Stony Creek bench. Battle for it, tipped ahead, but grabbed by Dion, and she'll quickly clear. Musty leaves it for Sanford. Sanford will take a skate, trying to go past Brummel, plays it to Allen, up to Vink, but that's offside. 4:06 to go, 1:04 left in the power play. Vink and France on the draw, won by the Sabres. Sanford to Kletke, over to Sanford. Tried to go to Vink, that's intercepted by Meta. Going back the other way, Meta is shot blockered away up in the air and grabbed by Musty. Keller, Stewart, Meta, Dion, the killers right now for the Sharks as they try and finish off the final 48 seconds of this power play. Meta tried to get it down low. That's broken up. Barnes and Morrison looking to go back the other way with Van Sickle as the trailer. They find Van Sickle. Her pass blocked by Keller. Sharks maybe a chance to go back the other way shorthanded. Keller with Stewart. Austin trying to catch up to Stewart. Keller makes a move. Backhander denied by Musty. .30 seconds left in the power play. Late change by Stony Creek. Off the draw, Morrison. Kept in by Stewart, played off the boards, but broken up. Here's Ellis. Ahead, Morrison to Van Sickle, through the middle. Tipped by Swanson, Ellis keeps it in. Ellis pinned to the boards by Stewart. Final 5 seconds now. Morrison waiting. Now fires a shot, saves the door, rebound loose. Charette will get it out. Cosgrave quickly coming out of the box. She'll send it down the ice. And that'll be icing. 2:55 to go. I'm sure the Sharks would love to get a late one here off the momentum of that kill there. They get in order who needs to be out on the ice. Stony Creek now trying to make changes, and second time that the Sabres have been trying to make changes. And the officials have told them, no, you took too long. Off the draw, 7 to Charette. Even that last change in the offensive zone, the Sharks were kind of wondering why they were allowed to make that change. That comes to the middle. Stewart can't get it out. 3D out there for Sharks right now. Cosgrave kind of playing forward due to the icing. Sanford a shot. That hit. Barnes out in front. Cosgrave getting it out. Stewart will get a change. So will Cosgrave. Here come the Sabres again. Sanford spinning back, tipped out of the zone by Charette. Winter trying to sneak in. Austin helping Sanford out though. There goes Austin. De Silva to Wallace. She'll take a skate. Wallace colliding with a pair of Sabres, and they're able to break it up. Clicky. Pressure by Winter. Austin gets it out. That's tipped past Dion. Now maybe a 3-on-1. Clicky with White. It's a 2-on-1. Here's White. Back across. But it was behind Clicky. Dion now out back the other way quickly for Wallace. Sharks trying to quickly go in the attack the other way. Wallace just sends it across. Sharks are offside. And they had to wait for Wallace to get the change. Back the other way comes Birch into the zone. Meta takes her down. Flipped out. Got it past Ellis. McKay to Sabrin through the middle. She's tied up by Vink. Stanley, that's kicked. And grabbed by Stony Creek. Vink off the boards. Puck goes down the length. And icing called. Just over a minute left in the second period. Only one goal so far here today. France, Keller, Stewart, Charette, and 7 in on for the Sharks here. 7 down behind the net, Stewart. Stewart, Keller put out in front. France a chance save. May have been blocked by Ouellette. Puck comes around the board. 7 able to keep it in. She'll send it down low, looking for deflection. It comes free to Keller, sends it wide. Rebound, Stewart trying to put it out in front. Sharks jamming away at it. Must be able to get to her crease, and she will hold it. 40 seconds to go. Good pressure there by the Sharks. Keller was open for an opportunity. Stewart was behind the net with an open net. She tried to flip it out in front, and that caused the jam. Nice turn takeaway. Meta shot. That goes over top, and Musty grabs it off the end boards. Nice drive there by Michaela Musty, who's been perfect through 39 minutes and 30 seconds of this one. Van Sickle up the boards. Meta able to keep it in. Spins back. That's tipped by Morrison. Played ahead. Spencer broken up. Barnes pushed into the boards. 10 seconds to go. Stony Creek trying to gather one final opportunity. Doesn't look like they will. So the Stony Creek Sabres are on the board. Michaela Barnes with a power play goal makes it 1-0 after 2. Third period coming up, but first we'll take a quick break for intermission. Well, we're back for one more period here as the Barrie Sharks trail 1-0 going to the third period. They'll look to get back into this one. And while we have a moment before the start of the period, we're going to take a quick look at the next 3 games for the Sharks. So as you can see, on Wednesday, the Sharks are in Aurora to take on the Central York Panthers at 7:40. They'll take Thanksgiving weekend off, and then they're back in action with 2 home games in 2 weekends from now. Friday night, 8 p.m. matchup with the Ottawa Lady 67s, and then a Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. matchup with the Cambridge Rivulettes. All 3 of those games will be live on YouTube. Also a reminder, with it being October, Pink in the Rink is coming up. Juniors will play on October 26th at the Sadlon Arena against the Mississauga Hurricanes. There will also be a few more Shark teams getting involved in the action on that day. Always a fun event to be a part of. I was at the last 2 and looking forward to recalling that game. So just over a minute left in intermission, and then we'll get the third period underway. It was a power play goal from Michaela Barnes of the Stony Creek Sabres that opened the scoring. Both teams have had 2 power play opportunities. The Sharks are 0 for 2. The Sabres are 1 for 2. Like I said in the pregame, these 2 teams met at East Bayfield last year, around this time in fact, and the Barrie Sharks got off to a 1-0 lead, but it was Stony Creek with 2 late third period goals to pick up the victory in that one. So maybe the Sharks trying to reverse that here. They find themselves down 1-0 going into the third, and they'll look for 1 to tie and 2 to take the lead here as we are ready to go. Once again, 6 and 6 on the draw. Sadie France for the Sharks. Sadie Allen for the Stony Creek Sabres. Allen with Barnes and Morrison. France with Keller and Stewart as the third period is underway from East Bayfield. Jenny Keller with it. Up the wing, fires a shot, blockered away by Musty. France back to 7. France flipping it to the net. Keller tried to tip it on net, that's broken up. France to 7, she'll take a shot, deflected save, rebound, Keller couldn't get there, and Musty will gather it. Shots on goal in the second period were 7 to 6 for the Stony Creek Sabres, making it a total of 17 to 14 for the Sharks. Sharks have came out strong here. Quick discussion at the Shark bench. Now a discussion between the 2 officials. They're looking over at the goalie, Musty. Jersey issue. Jersey was a bit up the arm. So it looks like we're good. Allen wins the draw. Keller coming on to try and get it from Sanford, but that comes out of the zone. Nice play by Dion to keep it from getting to Morrison. Her pass tempo went to Klepke. That's Sharks send it back down the other way. Musty over net to make the play. Klepke to Morrison, pass across, intercepted by Charette. Charette trying to take possession, loses it to Barnes. Pass across, misses. Charette around to 7. 7 up to Wallace. That's broken up. Now France up the wing. Sadie France into the zone, flipping it down to the corner. Van Sickle is there. Able to grab it. Morrison to Van Sickle. The wing, that's broken up, tipped around. And Barnes has it for Stony Creek, and she'll send it in. Kusick Gonna take a skate up the wing, giving it to Savern. Sending it across for Wallace. Off the stick of Boston. Wallace to the net. That goes wide. Savern down to Wallace. Tried to put it out in front for Winter. That missed. White goes up the boards. Kept him. One-timer Charette. Stopped by Mustard. Rebound Savern. Down low behind the net. Here's Love with it. Stripped of the puck. Winter center. Savern denied. Rebounds loose. Sharks trying to get at it. But Michaela Musty again up to the task. Winter across to Wallace. She'll try and quickly skate in. As Van Sickle on defense. Wallace the shot. Got knocked down and deflects wide. Boston now. Able to get it out for White. She's able to get it past Cosgrave. But Sonia Meadow going to be the first to the puck. Left it there. Cosgrave. Plays it out of the zone. And Ouellette is there now for Stony Creek. Brumlow to Larman. Up to McKay. That's broken up. Ouellette plays it forward for Meta. Tipping it ahead. Puck comes to Larman. She'll it off on a change. McKay for Brumwell. Sharks get it into the zone. Brumwell tips it deep. McKay chasing. It's sent around by the Stony Creek defense. Kept in by Dion. De Silva tried to drop it back. Intercepted. Cosgrave's going for a change. Now she realizes maybe a chance for a Bink. She'll take a shot. Stopped by Sador. Sharks got caught there on the change, but Ava Sador able to make the save. Another strong game for Ava Sador. One thing about the Sharks team, it really doesn't matter who's in net. Can't expect many goals to go in from the opposition. Dion to France, broken up. Puck comes out of the zone though. Sanford, Spencer, and sent in. Dion to Swanson. Collision there. Kept in by the Sabres. Scrum in the corner. Comes loose out in front. Here's a chance. Big save, Sador. Great stop there by Sador to keep it a one-goal game. Here goes De Silva. Oh, De Silva. A pair of goals in the last one. She's trying to get around Klecki. She'll wrap around net. Centers it for Swanson, and that goes wide. Rebound clearing attempt kept in by 7. That comes out of the zone, and Birch will send it down. Sador leaves it. Here's Kusick. Kusick to Keller. Fights through, backhanding it ahead. Stanley breaks it up, fires it down. Sador for 7. Baker 7 up the boards to Keller. Fighting with Love. Able to get it past her. Maybe a chance here. Keller spins and tries to put it out in front. That one missed. Birch trying to go out the other way. Keller will get there first and chips it up the boards. 4 minutes gone by in the final period here. Still 1-0 for the Sabres. Shred around for Keller. Missed her. And now here comes Barnes into the zone. Gets past Winter. Tried to make a move down on Swanson. But tipped wide. Goes down in the corner. Winter. Pass out intercepted. Morrison to Barnes through the middle. Tipped by Kusick. Played out by Charette. Stewart trying to catch up to it. She'll deflect it forward. But it's Ouellette getting it out. Here's Allen. Lost the puck. Shred off the boards. Stewart fires it across. Gets it down the lane. Ouellette playing it across to her deep partner Ellis. Allen goes off the boards. Out to Barnes. She'll backhand it across. Sonia Meadow will be the first one to it. Larman able to get it out. Trying to go back the other way. Deflected off her stick, but then she gets it back from Morrison. Puck deflected to Cosgrave. She'll find Savard. Looking for Larman. That was deflected by Ouellette. Nice play there by the Sabres defender. Ellis now on her own end. Gets past Savard. Plays it ahead. Barnes flipping it across for Pichetti, but Cosgrave down on her knees, able to tip that puck away. Would have been a potential breakaway. Klecki trying to come right back in. That's broken up at the blue line by the Sharks. Sanford spins. So past Larman. Broken up. Larman will flip it down the ice. Brumwell chasing Klecki. Couldn't get to it. White to Pichetti. Able to get past Larman, and in she comes with Sanford. Pichetti gets through. Takes a shot off the post. Sabres come close again to adding to their lead. And icing is called there. Nice play there by Alyssa Pachetti to get around a couple of defenders and get that nice shot off. Over top of Sador, but right off the crossbar. Pachetti and Larman. Won by Larman. Puck comes around. Brumwell. Balfour tip to the middle. McKay to Brumwell. Out back the other way. Gets it past Van Sickle. Brumwell's first to it. After the dump and chase, but Pachetti intercepts. Tried to clear it. Dion keeps it in. Now a battle against the boards. Puck comes out to a point pass for Antonou. 7. It's past White. Pass misses McKay, going the length. And McKay doesn't have enough in her to beat out the icing. 13-18 to go in the third period. Offensive zone draw for the Stony Creek Sabres as they look to add to their lead. They've got a couple good opportunities here in this third period, but big save by Ava Sador paired with a shot off the crossbar has kept us at 1-0. 7 fights off Allen, plays it around. McKay drops for Dion. That's off her stick. Behind the net, centering pass for Allen, just missed. Goes past Van Sickle down the ice. Stewart tried to force the turnover. Puck goes into the Shark end, but the Sharks have it. Stewart for Keller. One-on-one against Ouellette. She deflects it. Keller has it back. That's blocked. Rebound France. That was blocked again by Barnes. Sabres have done a good job getting in front of some of these pucks. Ouellette off the boards, chips it past Kusek. Will catch up to it. Ouellette sending it across, deflected, and it looks like Ava Sador has it as the net came off. What a job by Ava Sador sliding across. Off the draw. Ellis plays it down low behind the net. Kusek tipping it forward for De Silva. She goes down and it comes out. Chasing is Swanson, and Ellis is there first. Miley Ellis behind her own net. Her pass blocked by Swanson. Ellis now gives it to Ouellette, and she'll get it out. Spencer broken up. Collision between Nelson and De Silva there. Swanson battling for it. Puck comes to the middle. Charette going across for De Silva. It's past her and down the ice. Both teams making changes. 11:52 to go. Ellis spins back. Couple Sharks putting on pressure there, and De Silva and Wallace. Sabrin will join in. So Sharks relentless right now on the forecheck. Stanley out back the other way. Fired in wide of Sador. Collision there between Larman and Birch. Puck put out in front. That's deflected wide. Plecky steps up. Broken up though. Sabrin to Wallace. Gets it past Birch. When the Sharks catch up to the puck, Sabrin deflects it ahead. But the only jerseys there are white. Sanford to Beeman. Beeman up the wing. Offside. 11:05 to go. Shetty and France on the draw. Won by the Sharks. Dion. Cross for Meta, just missed. Love, that hit Pachetti. It's in her skates. And able to get it out. Dion keeps it in neutral. Van Sickle able to gather it for Stony Creek. Van Sickle coming in. Tried to give to Austin. That's broken up. Battle for it against the boards. Puck comes free. Here's a shot from White. Stopped by Sador. Shetty and Wallace on the draw. Quick shot off there, stopped by Sador. Rebound Stewart able to flip it out. And it stays in. And now a 2-on-1 for the Sharks. Keller with Wallace. Keller takes the shot off the side of the net. Big opportunity there to tie it. Keller goes down. Stewart now with it, has 7 out in front. Wallace backhanding it down low, broken up. Now a backhander denied by Musty. Rebound 7. Puts it out in front, just missed Stewart. Keller now a shot, that goes wide. Fired out back the other way. Here go the Sabres. White, deflected. There goes deep, and 7 is there. Sharks trying to come out quickly here. Keller, backhanding it ahead. Fresh fins coming out again for the Sharks. Klepke across for Allen. Sadie Allen into the zone, fires a shot, stopped by Sador. Big opportunity there for the Sharks to tie it on that 2-on-1 between Keller and Wallace. Draw one by the Sabres. Sanford takes the shot, blockered away by Sador. For it down low, Larman to Cosgrave. Tied up. Comes loose. Here's Morrison trying to put it out in front. Sharks able to break that one up. Larman looking for De Silva. That was tipped. Allen now on it. Puts it out in front for Morrison. Broken up again. Allen to the point. Collected. Back to Allen. Allen a shot deflected a couple times. It goes wide of the net. Sabres still trying to go on the attack. Barnes trying to put it in front. Cosgrave all over her. Down goes Barnes. And whistled down. 8:52 to go in the third period. Sharks still looking for that elusive first goal of the game. Sabres won Friday night 3-0, so they have yet to allow a goal this weekend. Sharks looking to change that. Love able to deflect it back a bit. 7 up to Sabrin. Well, Sabrin coming into the zone had 2 Stony Creek players on her. They both stumble. Puck comes out of the zone. Dion able to get it back and flips it in. Love will get there first. France putting on some pressure. Swanson nearly snuck in to take that one away, but now Love has some space up the wing. Love into the zone, takes a shot, that's blocked. Rebound comes around, that's broken up. France will slap it off the boards and out. Puck going down the ice. Long up for icing, quickly sent up for Vink, it's off her stick. And grabbed by Brummel, it's neutral coming in. Brummel gives to McKay, whose shot fired over top. Puck didn't make it all the way back to the point. Kusick tried to step up to keep it in. Winter to Brumwell. Brumwell a shot, save Musty and a whistle. 7:51 remaining in the third. Sharks with an offensive zone draw set up off the turnover in the neutral zone that Brumwell was able to gather and bring in. Kusick got in front of White there to force the Sharks possession. But now out back the other way, maybe a 2-on-1 if White could catch up to it, but she couldn't. Shred off the boards, kept in by Pichetti. Pichetti down low, broken up by Charette. She'll get it out. Now McKay chasing, she's going to be first there. McKay with Brumwell, maybe an opportunity. McKay makes a move, fires a shot that goes wide. Puck back the other way. Pichetti, broken up by Wallace. Grabbed by Dion. Out to McKay. Sign for the Sharks having a strong shift. They'll head off as Wallace, Stewart, and Keller come on. Played ahead by Ellis. Grabbed by Meta. Flipped across. Dion to Stewart. Stewart to Keller, and up come the Sharks. And Keller into the zone. That's deflected. Stewart able to keep it in. Gets it around and grabbed by Muskie. 6:45 to go. Draw one by Wallace. Meta's shot, that's blocked. Sabres are going to go back the other way. Allen quickly out to Barnes. May have an edge on Dion. Barnes flipping it back to Morrison, broken up. Sharks trying to quickly go the other way. Meta fires it forward for Stewart, right on her stick. Stewart chips it to open ice and finds Keller. Keller down to the corner. And Sickle, tipped by France. Here's Barnes. Making a move. Nice play. Trying to drive the net. Now puts it out in front and they score. What a pass from Michaela Barnes to find Audrey Morrison. Morrison 6th. A big insurance goal for the Sabres. It's 2-0 here late in the third. Disappointing one there for the Sharks. As clearly seeing the reason that Morrison and Barnes lead this Stony Creek team in points. Sabres want a call, they're not going to get it. Here's McKay to Brumwell. Cross to France. France into the zone. Back across for Brumwell, that's broken up. Charette. Off the boards, puck goes around. Sanford broken up by France. France trying to knock it free alongside Brumwell and McKay. Brumwell now fires a shot, that was blocked. Sharks starting to run out of time here. A big difference between needing 1 goal in 6 minutes and needing 2. Charette fights, sends it across, broken up by Vink. Sabres trying to get this clock down to 0 and come out of here with a victory. Wallace couldn't get past Kleckty. Was blocked off, tipped around. Now Charette. She'll go up the boards for Stewart. Back the other way come the Sharks. Stewart tried to make a move on Kleckty. That was broken up. Sonia Meta now trying to catch up to it. Loses it to Spencer. And that's flipped in. Tipped by Wallace. Puck goes to the corner. Meta and Nelson slam into the boards. Knocked free to Spencer, putting it out in front. Knocked around. Chance there. Stopped by Sador. Looked like Cosgrave was going to be able to take it out the other way, but Sabres got it back. Stewart has it now. Her clearing attempt was blocked. And in comes Vink. Knocked off the puck quickly by Larman. Stewart off the boards. Broken up by Kleckty. He tried to play her right back in. Broken up. Musty to Ellis. Played to Kleckty. Now Austin getting it out. Battle for it. Dion plays it to 7. 7 ahead to Larman. Gets it past the defense. Now can she catch up to the puck? No, she can't. Good job by Love and Van Sickle there. Less than 4 minutes to go here in the third period. 7 backhanding it nearly out of the zone. With a scrum against the boards. Now Sharks come through with it. Dion firing it ahead. Here's Larman. That was tipped off her stick. Love ahead to White. Deflected down the ice. 3:25 to go. Charette. Intercepted by Ouellette. And sent right back down the ice. Kathleen Dion. Wrapping it around. Battle for it. Coming free is Morrison. Lost the puck though, and Charette has it. Adriel Charette gonna take a skate with it. Knocked off her stick, but still in Shark possession. De Silva sends it across for Keller. Keller will get it in and head off on a change. Musty leaves it for Sanford. She'll go back to Ouellette. Spinning free of Wallace. Ouellette across to Morrison. And fired in. 2.5 to go here in the third period. Pair of goals from the Stony Creek Sabres have them up 2-0. Birch looking for more, knocked off her stick. And flips it down to the corner. Meta there, plays it to Brumwell. Brumwell across to Wallace, flipped forward. Down the ice, Ellis catches up to it, icing waved off. Ellis to Klecki. Up to Stanley. Played ahead, final 2 minutes. Have to watch to see if Sharks pull Sador at any moment. There's McKay, tied up, drops it back. Francis shot, that goes wide. And now Sador heading to the bench. It'll be 6-on-5. 7, trying to get it to the middle, battling for it. Taken down by a Sabre. Minute and a half to go. Sabres content with keeping it down there. Sharks trying to get it out as quick as possible. And now it'll be whistled down. Couple Shark players took tumbles there, but it looks like all smiles. And we'll have a timeout now, called by the Sharks. They try and draw up a plan here for the next minute 20 as they try and get back into this one. Just a reminder, like I mentioned earlier, the Sharks are back on the road Wednesday. They'll take on the Central York Panthers in an evening matchup in Aurora. If you can't make it down, tune in to the YouTube stream that we'll have for you. Fortunately for the Sharks, unless they get 2 goals in the next minute, they'll be looking to get back in the win column on Wednesday. Minute 20 to go. Keller, Larman, France, Stewart, Meta, and Charette out there for the Sharks as they try to get back in this one. Off the draw, won by the Sabres. Van Sickle plays it around. Up the wing, Meta chips it down low. Van Sickle grabs it, Keller all over. Sharks relentless trying to get this turnover. Keller goes back to the point, Charette. Coming up on the final minute. First shot. Missed a couple deflections. Meta will step up and play it down to the corner. Love now just trying to kill time. Puck quickly knocked free. Clearing attempt fails. Meta able to keep it in. Playing it down and around for Keller behind the net. 50 seconds to go. Larman to the point, Charette. Charette to Meta. Goes past her stick now. She'll catch up to it. Chips it down. Knocked down. Stewart spins. She'll take a shot. Stopped by Musty. Save there to keep it 2-0. Puck comes back the other way. Here's Love trying to get it out. Meta flips over her stick. Stony Creek will get the changes they want. Sharks need to quickly get it up. That's tipped by Larman. Played to the middle. Here goes Wallace into the zone. Dale Wallace gets free of the puck. Here's a shot that goes wide. 20 seconds to go. Charette deflects. Stewart and Austin were tied up. Stewart comes free with it. Her shot blocked. Comes out in front for Larman. Denied by Musty. Rebound loose. Sharks jamming away. And it's whistled down as Musty able to gather it with 7 seconds to go. Bit of rough stuff there, but things do clear up. 7 seconds left. It looks like the Sabres will come away with this one. What a start from Michaela Musty today as the Sharks outshot the Sabres through 2 periods. They've had some great chances here in the third, but Musty's been up to the task on them all. Off the draw, kicks free. Sharks will have one final chance at breaking the shutout. Netta, not going to happen. So that will do it. It's the Stony Creek Sabres coming away with the 2-0 victory over the Barrie Sharks. Goals from Michaela Barnes and Audrey Morrison, and they both assisted on each other's goals. Those were the difference tonight, alongside the performance in net for Michaela Musty. So the Sharks lose. They fall to 8-2 on the season. They will remain in second place no matter the results of any other games today, and it'll be a second place versus third place matchup on Wednesday against the Central York Panthers. So that's all here today from the East Bayfield Community Center. My name is Josh McCann. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you on Wednesday.